Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Ooh. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Camping again in my hot tent with my little African American beer, which is, as you can see, already empty. She went away, she's dry. We like it dry, we don't like it wet. And of course, we got, in case someone wants something, always this and my. What's his name? His name is the Red Baron, which is the AK-47 Zastava. All right, what do we have here? We have the imbeciles in Germany. That's a fuck up we have. Sorry. Talk to you later. A little bird there. So, what do we have here? It's my tent right here on one of my favorite properties. And what do we have here? We have the Germans. The Germans want to fight the Russians, man. They want a revanche. They want a redone, whatever you want to call it, encore. What's going on? I have here a few articles. And the Germans really, the German Defense Committee, I will show you. I have my CC iPad here. Pushes NATO drone shoot downs over Ukraine. I want you to say, yes, Emil, you told us that that's going to happen. And what's going to happen is going to be no-flight zone over Ukraine. This is what these guys... Oh, where's my watch? They want a no-flight zone in Ukraine. And I will show you what they want now after the attack on Poland, because Poland is the victim. Yeah, Poland is the victim, but has been helping Ukraine, click, 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 the globalists, since was 2022. But hey, the 19 Russian drones came over. Help, help. How do you say help in Poland, in Polish? Oh, cucu. Cucu. Okay, what do we have here? So, let me show you how it's done. Right there. Let me put my goggles because, as you know, I'm old and my skin is cold. Right there, you see that? Let me see. This is from the New Voice of Ukraine. And it says, German Garbage Defense Committee chief pushes NATO drone shoot downs over Ukrainska Pravda. Got it? Okay. So, I'm going to read that one. And Deutsche Bundestag. Jawohl, meine Führer. Jesus fucking Christ. We're going to read that one, but I'm going to show you another title. From Ukrainska Pravda, this one. Bundestag urges NATO to down Russian drones over Ukraine. You see that over there? Aww. You pieces of shit. Why don't you take on the Russians yourselves? Alone. You say, you know what, motherfucker? Let me show you my balls right here. Click, click, click. I have only underwear, so I'm not going to show you. So, I'm going to, man, you come over, you fight me, man. I'm going to fight you over there. I'm going to come to Moscow again. 15 kilometers, you can hear it. Boom, 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 bam, bam, bam. No, NATO. Motherfuckers. Anyway, clip. Maybe I'm going to poke my eye with this shit. All right. And then, what else do we have? We have this article. I'm going to read them to you. This article from early... I think it was yesterday that I covered from the 10th of September. What is the goal of Russia's mass drone attack on Poland and how should NATO respond? I tell you how it's going to... You see that over there? I covered this on 2 videos earlier today. And how should NATO respond? Right there. By destroying the Russian drones. No more. All right, by destroying the Russian drones. And let me show you something. These are some of my videos for a long time ago. I want you to go and watch them. I want to watch them. You see, over there, one was from the 26th of February 2022. I want you to read this title right there. Kipacaka, makalaka, fakalaka, tsokoloko. It says, Putin assets frozen, no-fly zone. That was freaking in 2022 right here. In February 26th, right there. You see that over there? Okay, that's right there. And the one on top of it is what? Ukraine no-fly zone implications. And that's again, opa. Oh my God. You can't just drop down. We have you here, and I also have my Zastava here. Anyway, and we have this one. Look at these ones. I made these videos a long time ago, over and over again. And I said, what? I was right. NATO no-fly zone over Ukraine. And then I said, NATO will send troops to Ukraine. Institute no-fly zone. NATO no-fly zone over Ukraine. Go and check them out. Just do that on my channel. You're going to find a lot of times when I said. Whew. All right. What do they want to do? What do they want to do? Do you remember Libya? What happened in Libya with the bad guy Gaddafi? Well, with the bad guy Gaddafi, they overthrew a government. Okay, they overthrew a government. This is a 357 Magnum, right there. 357 Magnum. I like revolvers better than the pistols because they have less, how do you call it, chances to, actually I should show it to you the other way around, less chances to get stuck or something, all right? So that's why I like revolvers better than, including that they don't have like, someone shows up, clap, boom, we don't have, safety shit. We don't like safety shit. If we get shot, like, I shoot my leg, baboon, actions have consequences. So, no worries. Want to show you something? I can show you. It's a cooler next to me. So, what's going on here? NATO wants a no-fly zone in Libya with Gaddafi. Gaddafi would have fucked up the democratic forces, promoted and supplied and sponsored by the West. The same in Ukraine. Would have screwed them up right there. Like, oh, look at that. Oh my God, I'm so strong. Anyway, I remember when I was with a friend of mine, I was just doing like this. And he was like, what the, not anymore, but anyway, what the hell, Amy? Look at those snakes over there. All right. God, I don't care, man. I'm having fun. What do you want? And Gaddafi could have screwed them up, but NATO somehow, the defensive alliance, told Gaddafi, you can't use your aircrafts, air force, against the democratic forces because we say so. Who the hell are you? What do you think I have over here, huh? What do you think I have over here? Any ladies of the night here? No, but there are beautiful eagles. I just saw some bald eagles over there, and I'm not kidding. I mean, I can't take a picture of them, but bald eagles, I have a little, how do you call that? Hawk flying around, not hawk. It's a smaller than a hawk. How do you call that? Red tail something. I can't remember. Smaller, like this small, just for the little beep, 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 beep. Anyway, so they instituted that, and the democratic forces toppled Gaddafi, and look what happened in Libya. The same thing these guys tried to pull the same thing against Vladimir Putin by instituting a no-flight zone. Back the fuck off. Why do I say that? These guys, is NATO and the Europeans, they want to strike Russia without the Russians being able to strike them. I think that's weasel behavior. Like Germany. Let me read you a few words from these little articles that I have here. And this is baboonish, my friends. It's just horrible, horrible. But hey, if the Germans want to fight if the Germans want to fight the Russians, go ahead, man. Go and fight. Thomas Löwenkamp, head of the Bundestag Defense Committee, called on NATO to shoot down Russian drones over Ukraine. And the Russians will fuck you up in Bonn, in Dresden, no, let's say go in the West, in Hamburg, in Stuttgart, in Munich, in all those places. Not in the Eastern Germany, no, in the Western Germany. Why? Because that's all the money is, okay? Nuremberg, oh, not Nuremberg, because Nuremberg we have the, remember the torches? Nuremberg trials. Do you know why they picked up the Nuremberg trials? Because that's where the Nazis had the rallies. I will make a video from Nuremberg and from the Eagle's Nest. What's it called again? Berghof. Okay, he said the alliance must respond decisively. Why don't you, my alliance, why don't you go with your army and fight the Russians, man? Decisive attacks by Russian UAVs, adding that NATO has proven its ability to repel such a threat. Good job. Why don't you go in, homie? However, in the field of air defense, we still face very serious challenges, especially in repelling mass drone attacks. Here, military capabilities need to expand and Germany's contribution increased. That means Rheinmetall, the biggest German arms manufacturing companies that makes a kill with a war, should provide some help. For that reason, NATO countries should quickly equip Ukraine so it can act against those targets on Russian territory. All right, Russian drone attack, pop. With the permission of relevant country, such as Ukraine, it should be possible to neutralize drones that threaten NATO territory already in its airspace. Did you know NATO is a country now? It has its own territory. Please pay attention to that. Okay, they talk about NATO airspace. NATO. They don't talk about Romanian airspace, Polish. No, NATO. But now they're in the middle. Sometimes they say Polish, sometimes they say NATO. In about 3 months from now on, 3 months and 5 days and 21 hours and 23 minutes, they will start using only NATO. All right, let's go to the second article. My God, Bundestag, why don't you take care of your Holocaust shit, and then we're talking. All right, there guys, Thomas Rehlenkamp, again, the chief of Bundestag Defense Committee, has said that the alliance, not Germany, the alliance, together, man, together, again, my heart, you remember Ray Charles? Listen to that song. Must act decisively, like decide something, like what exactly decide? Balls in your mouth or something? Anyway, against Russia's large-scale attacks, down drones over Ukraine, and increased support for Kiev with means to strike Russian targets. My point, let me just figure these things out. All right, let's like this. Let's this. If this phone will fall. Ha! Here we go, we're in the beast. Well, my friends, you gotta have a little bit of fun, you know. Otherwise, things are too serious. Things are beautiful. I got some wood over there ready to burn, okay? And there's a little path over here to go to wherever. So, what's going on, my friends? Let me walk a little bit with you. That's my hot tent over there. All right, what do we have here? We have the following. The Germans think that they will have a revenge, but they're not the Germans who really want to take care of the Russians. It's not them. I mean, don't get fooled. It's not the Germans. I'm not going to go down because you're going to see my underwear. And under those underwears are my dinglingis. So we can't do that. Anyway, so anyway, they will not attack Russia because they know goddamn well that the Russians will screw them, okay? So they try to get the alliance. Always the alliance. When you hear an alliance, that means cowardness, all right? Just so you know. The Germans want a revenge. It's not about the Germans. It's the guys in charge of Germany. Once you have foreign troops on your country and you don't have your troops on that particular country, that means you're owned. That's, I mean, definition of ABC, slave, or whatever you want to call that, servant. So, my friends, what will the Germans do? I tell you what they will do. They will try to see how far they can go. That's what they're going to try to do. And then after they do that, the Russians will tell them, we're going to hit you. We're going to hit Rheinmetall. We're going to hit your interests and so on. And you know what the Germans are going to say? gonna look to the left to their masters, and if the masters say, yeah, you can destroy your country, go ahead. And the Germans will do what? I always disliked packs. When packs jump you. Have you ever been jumped by a group of people? Well, let me tell you what to do when that happens. When that happens, you have a bunch of, it's an organization. As in the thug world, that's a leader. Always it's only one leader. It could be another one who tries to topple that one and get the leadership. They are the generals, which are the guys that talk to the leaders and they make plans, but they recognize the leader. The leader is Al Capone, the United States of America. Very down below, very far down is Germany, Great Britain, not even Germany, France, these guys. And on top, somewhere in the universe out there, there is Israel. And Israel can never be challenged. Never, ever, ever, never, never, ever, never. Okay? So then in these guys, you have these generals. And then you have the lieutenants. The lieutenants are like the rank and file. And then you have the how do you call those guys? The instigators. You know, like Georgia, like Azerbaijan, like for instance Ukraine, like Armenia. These guys there are the guys who are trying to push for the big guys to fight, but they will be just, we got hit, my ball hurts right there. We can do it. Can you help us? And Georgia gets a fucking bloody nose because NATO was afraid to get in. Why? It didn't have contact. How do you call it? Supply lines. That's what Ukraine has, supply lines. Georgia would not have had in 2008. So that's why the Germans would not do anything. They will try to see, like right now, the politicians. The politicians say, I want to make this law. And then immediately he orders a poll of opinion and see how we baboons react to that. And if we react kind of positively, he's gonna try to push it through. The same with the Germans. They throw that out there knowing goddamn well the Russians will destroy them. The Russians already told them, if you do that, we are going to destroy you. And the Germans are like, let's ask Israel and see what they want. All right, thank you very much for being with me again today. They won't do shit. If they're gonna do something, the Russians will not accept that. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just, my friends.